Sam.
What?
Alright everybody, now we are live. Welcome to Monster of the Week. We're going to be following the Special Police Office of Occult Crime Investigators, finding supernatural, spooky stuff all around. So we're going to go ahead and do a slight introduction to ourselves. Our character is just your name, your character, maybe a small description of maybe who they are, what they do. Go ahead, we'll start at the top with Joe.
Hey everybody, I'm Joe. My character's name is Joe Winchester. I'm playing the Spooky in the game. And I wasn't here last time, so it'll be fun to see like how this turns out.
Okay, from
Am I next?
yes.
Okay. I am playing Luca, which is the expert. I was part of last campaign as well. So we'll see how it goes now that we have everybody today.
I am S.P.O.O.C.I. I'm the monstrous, and I was also here last week, and I'm pretty pumped to have Woody the Joe with us.
Are we just saying that we were here
That's not
last
gonna
week just
stick.
to make Joe feel bad?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Okay, I'm Mike or Waylon. You know me if you've been to the channel before, but I will be the keeper, kind of like the dungeon master for this adventure.
Okay, I'm Sam. I play the cricket. His name's Tamaki. And they just had this video on Facebook where they made pizza crust, like, out of freaking pretzels, and I want to try it.
Yes, so if you go to Little Caesars, they have their pretzel crust pizza, and it's amazing, and it's only $6.
I need to get this.
Yes, definitely do. They make it with cheese sauce instead of pizza sauce. So, alright, does anybody in particular, you know what, here's what we're going to do. For the recap, we'll go through one by one for those of us who were there last week, so not Joe, and very briefly, explain what happened very briefly as your character saw it. So we can go ahead and start with Luca.
Look here, you told me to bring snacks. I'm eating my snacks. You're gonna make me do a recap here.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's how it
So
works.
last week we had the bro who got sucked into the cave at the sauerkraut cave. So we all got together, gathered all the information, did a quick look at the area during the day, and then came back that evening because, of course, evening is when spirits and so on are more active. So after climbing through the tunnel and getting all muddy and being yelled at from the tunnel entrance by someone, we met up with the ghost, who has collected the guy that got snagged from the front of the cave in the video on YouTube, and rescued him from the ghost, who was just very, very confused as to what was happening, basically. So it all ended well. We saved, Steve, right? Is that who it was? They
think
got kidnapped, so. Steve.
I didn't write that down.
Rescued Steve and confirmed with the ghost that she was very confused as to what was happening.
Yeah, don't run that. Yeah.
I guess from S.P.O.O.C.I's perspective of what happened there, honestly, Tamaki was safe, so that was a plus in my mind, but other than that, it was a lot of confusion, a lot of tight spaces that just really irked the big fella's nerves a little bit.
I feel like y'all did a really great job. That's what happened.
Okay. So yes, there was a ghost in a cave, was very confused, was kidnapping people. At the end, it was just trying to find its daughter. So yeah, definitely go back and give that a listen, if you're of an interest to do so, of course. If not, well then, poo on you, I suppose. So, alright, now we're going to get started with today's game proper. The title of this game is actually The Nightmare Eaters. just to throw that out there. So there's a couple of things at the beginning of a game that we do need to do. Very specifically, some characters, Joe and Luca, have special things they do at the beginning. Joe, do you have your 2 6-sided die?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. So you have premonitions. What that does is at the start of each mystery, you get to roll your die, and that will give you a vision of some sort as to what could be happening. In fact, if you are able to stop or somehow change what you're seeing happen, you actually get an extra experience point at the end of the game. So definitely a good thing to keep in mind. Go ahead and roll those for me and add your weird modifier.
All right, let's see here. Ooh, I rolled a 12.
You rolled a 12. Shit, so that's a perfect ass roll.
I was going to say, like, I should be, like, God mode here because it's 14, right?
Yep, it's 14.
Character.
So you don't get anything for, like, a super crit or anything like that on this sort of a roll, but very good roll. So on a 10 plus for premonition, you get a detailed vision of something bad that is yet to happen. You also get to take +1 forward to prevent it coming true. So you get, make sure to make note that you have +1 forward. So you can, the next thing that you do where you roll, you can add a 1 to it. So you'll have a little bit of an advantage on things. And again, if you stop whatever it is, you will get experience on that. So it's definitely a good thing to be able to mark that off at the end as well. So a little bit of background on Joe. So wherever you may be, wherever Joe may be in the world at this time, is having fitful sleep. Definitely having some sort of agitated dreams. In this dream, Joe sees a girl, a younger girl, at most maybe 13, 14 years old, a much younger girl, and she's screaming and appears to be in a bedroom of some sort. Then what looks to be a closet, it's very dark in there, but you can definitely get a sense of dread coming from the closet and a vague impression that there is definitely something in there, and it's probably not friendly. And as it starts to emerge from the closet darkness, Joe, you just wake up with a start, and you're like, shit's going down. Because you've had this sort of dream before about things, as far as this is telling you something's going to happen. So how's that for fun?
I mean, it sounds exciting.
We'll see how exciting.
I can't wait to drag whatever is in the closet out and shoot it in the face with a shotgun.
It's just a few skeletons, that's all. We all have those, no worries. Okay, so you have your premonition. If you can prevent what appears to be happening, prevent this from coming true, you will get extra XP at the end of the game. Luca, you also get to roll at the beginning because you are the woman with the plan. So go ahead and roll your D6s.
I rolled a 6 total, and then what do I add to it?
You add your sharp, so that would give you 8.
8.
Okay, so you get to hold 1. So, of course, for those who don't know, when you hold, what it is a bonus. You can add 1 to a roll later on. Very specifically, this can be spent to be where you need to be, prepared and ready. We still haven't quite established what exactly that means, but that's okay. But we can at least let you spend it however you choose to at some point at the very least. So, okay, so that gets us started. So, Joe, your character has been led by this vision. In the past, you've had similar sorts of things happen, and you really need to follow up and see what's going on in order to prevent some disaster or another. Perhaps at one point in time you ignored it, and that caused something very bad to happen. That's, possibly a thing that had occurred, but that you really need to follow up. The initial vision was followed up by a few subsequent feelings, perhaps like deja vu sort of thing going on. And you found your way to the outside of a shop. It's a two-story old style shop in the middle of downtown. And on the outside, what did we decide that the shop was called? I don't remember.
Bookworm.
The Bookworm?
But it's WYRM.
Gotcha. So Bookworm. So there's a big sign. It's an older wooden sign. Maybe it's a little bit worn from age, but it says the Bookworm. It's spelled like a dragon, not a worm. And you make your way inside, as this is where these feelings have led you. So, as you walk in, I'm going to assume Luca is probably standing by the register as always.
Yes. With
Okay.
the book, as always.
With the gigantic tome of knowledge open in front of her. So, that's what you see when you walk in. It's very much an old bookshop, not well worn, not well traveled. Not a lot of people show up in there. It's very dusty. Lots of big, heavy books and oddities scattered around. There's a long counter, just a really nice old wood counter. At the end is an old-timey cash register, next to which sits a very new MacBook for a nice juxtaposition, with a very large book open on it and a youngish lady there poring over the book. What would Joe like to do?
He just called you old.
Well, I think I want to approach the person that's in there, or whoever, just ask him some questions about the place.
Awesome.
Tell him I was.
Yeah, go ahead and describe that to me. So, I know you've played some Dungeons and Dragons, but this is a little more, think cinematically. So, describe what Joe is doing, perhaps what Joe is feeling and thinking, as Joe walks up and approaches Luca at the counter.
Well, based off of like the premonition that I had, I'm feeling a little. I did have like some feeling like of this place, like once I walked up to it and walked inside, that I'd be able to like get my start here, just looking around, with the explanation of the place that you got going on. I found it a little funny to only see like the one person here, so I wanted to approach and see like what's going on. Like if they might be able to give me a little bit more insight on what's going on, like with this location, if there's anything really peculiar about it. Like
Gotcha.
what's special about this place is what I'm wanting to find out.
Gotcha. So you're going to walk up to the counter, approach Luca, and what is Joe going to say?
Hey, how you doing?
I literally just look up very slowly to him, but I say nothing. I just stare at him.
Okay, so when Luca looks up at Joe, what does she see? Like, what sort of clothing is going on? Does he look like a bum? Does he look like a manicured millionaire? What exactly does Luca see standing in front of her?
Oh gosh.
It's very important, I promise.
Come on, Joe. What do you look like? What do you dress like?
So, honestly, I'm dressed up in like some sort of casual clothing. It's basically a zip-up jacket, somewhat worn clothing, jeans, boots, no hat.
The facial hair and all that.
I've got a little bit longer hair, slicked back, a groomed beard, I guess.
Groomed normally.
Yes, I know, right? So you look like you. Okay, that helps us out a lot.
Exactly.
So ultimately, it's maybe a little rough around the edges. Not brand new jeans, but not looking like somebody who's homeless either. Just normal dude.
A normal dude.
Okay, gotcha. So Lucas just looked up from the book at you and just kind of did nothing. What are you gonna do there?
Well, I noticed she's reading this giant book. I want to know. I'm gonna ask her again. Like, hey, what you reading there?
I don't
Do you have-
respond. I just close the giant book, and dust goes everywhere, obviously. And I
And
just
I start
say,
coughing.
"Are you lost? Can I help you?"
Yeah, I'm new around here. What particularly like draws me to this place, but I'm doing like some investigating in town, just wanting to find out a little bit more what's going on. Get a little bit of background knowledge on
Background knowledge of what?
like the store and where I'm.
Have you tried Google?
What's Google? Oh, shut up.
Well, if you look, you will find anything that you're looking for.
Okay, so let me see here. Go ahead, if you would, Joe. Roll your d6s for me, and we'll add your sharp modifier.
Well, shoot.
For you, because for you, we're basically going to count this as investigative mystery. You're not sure why you're here.
Yeah, I only rolled a 3, so
that's bad.
So I got 4 total.
Gotcha. So you. Oh, okay. So you failed that horribly. So you're still not quite sure why you're here, but you do have a feeling that this place is not normal. It's a special place, right? There's clearly some sort of energy here, at the very least, that you can feel at a very basic level. Being a spooky, you do have some, psychic sensitivities. So this is not just a normal sort of place. You trying to think. So I mean, you can work based on that and just be like, hey, I know there's magic here, right? Because you know that there's something here that's a little more than normal, even though Luca appears to not be admitting to anything of this sort.
Right.
Okay, and where's so we'll assume Tamaki is probably upstairs listening to K-pop very loudly and annoying bro side. And
Yes.
again, I'm assuming that's a pretty regular occurrence.
It's pretty common.
No.
All right,
Yeah,
Joe,
I
what
guess
are you
that's what's
doing? I'm gonna make you work for this.
Well, you said that there were some stairs there. What's gonna happen if I?
So you're just gonna try to walk around the counter and go upstairs.
Yeah, because the stairs are like behind the counter, behind the beaded curtain, like of the stairs. I'd probably try to set you on fire.
Gotcha. Okay, no, never mind. So, what would you say the size of this room is, though, that I'm like in, essentially?
It's fairly sizable. Fairly sizable. It's big enough to hold plenty of knickknacks, just kind of stuck on the walls. Several bookshelves line the walls, and there's a few in the middle. It's a fairly large room. So if you've been downtown to like a coffee house that's down there where there's like residences upstairs, one of those 2 to 3-story buildings, it's like one of those. It's a fairly sizable room downstairs.
Well, let's see. Is there any? I don't know, like maybe on the aspect of like using some of my magic power. Magic power. would it be possible to like kind of get an idea of like which direction I need to go?
Yeah. So again, you could roll that as investigate a mystery. I think that would work out pretty well. Or you know what? You could use magic. In fact, would probably be where is the use magic? Okay, so when you use magic, you can let's see, inflict harm, enchant a weapon, do one thing that is beyond human limitations, bar a place or portal to a specific person or type of creature, trap a person, banish a spirit, summon a monster, communicate with something you do not share a language with, observe another place or time, or heal one harm from injury. So I think maybe observe another place or time might be what you're wanting to do. What specifically are you trying to figure out?
I'm wanting to see like what like initiated my feeling of this place. So like maybe because
Okay,
I feel like it's something that is going on here specifically that
gotcha.
could like give me an idea of where I need to go from here.
Gotcha. Okay, so use magic. I think you would want to observe another place or time would be extremely helpful. Go ahead and roll your d6s and add your weird modifier. Hopefully,
So my total was 8.
total was 8. 8 on the die.
Six on the die and 2 for my modifier.
Gotcha. Okay.
I believe.
So it's going to work imperfectly. You will be able to use the magic. You will get the information you're looking for, but it's going to have a glitch. So,
That's my
um,
outfit today.
so the glitch is you can choose the glitch, and then I'll figure out how it works.
Oh yeah, are you female now, Sam? Is that right?
No, I'm just gonna dress like a female sometimes.
Okay.
Okay, that works. Okay,
Gender
so
fluid.
the glitches are the effect is weakened, effect is short duration. You can take one harm. It draws immediate unwelcome attention or has a problematic side effect. So you can choose the glitch.
Let's go for short duration.
Short duration. Okay, so you can get a short glimpse of another time or place. So at this point, you get a vision when you use this minor magic spell of things that have happened previously in this location. So you know that Luca is part of some bigger type of organization that investigates psychic phenomenon and supernatural things. You also know that there's a demon upstairs. So you know that that's probably why you were brought here as well. Um, just because they clearly handle these sorts of things.
Gotcha. So I'm gonna go back to Luca here and explain that hey, I I know what you are. I know that you have like a connection to the supernatural. I had a premonition and go into explaining the entirety detail of like what I saw before I even arrived here. Um, and see how she responds from there. That's what I want to know.
Okay. So there you go. Luca gets a brief explanation of that vision, the screaming girl, the thing in the closet, probably about how, I was somewhere else, but I was brought here based on these intuitions that I have. So you get a feeling that he's definitely not just some normal dude who wandered in here now.
Okay. So I'm assuming this is something that you've experienced in the past. These visions that you say that you're having, they're not new to you.
Yeah, they're not new at all. I've had stuff like this happen before, and it has led to the events coming,
Do you have any
or
more?
or at least some form of those.
Do you have any information on where it's potentially your vision is coming from, like the location that you viewed in your vision? or anything specific that might give us a location of this vision, because otherwise it could have been anywhere, which is not very helpful.
Well, let's see. Hey, this one's for Mike. As far as like that premonition that I had earlier, would I have been able to like have seen like where this location was at or what it looked like, or
No.
was it more or less that I just saw the room?
You just saw the room. It was the inside of, again, that was very clearly to you a girl's room, and there was something in the closet. If you really stop and think about it, you see some details that maybe you had passed up before, just in the initial shock. At the time you had to contemplate and rethink about it, have reemerged. And in the closet, there was definitely some sort of otherworldly being. It was fairly small, 3 to 4 feet high, had very leathery skin, fairly hairless, about the size of a large dog, really, and it did appear to be on all fours. You're able to give a pretty decent description of what this creature actually looked like.
Now, am I also able to do it for the girl too?
Yeah, you can. And so you recall that the girl was, again, fairly young, young teenager, at most 13, 14 years old. She had black hair, and she had very pale skin, and she looked very, very tired. From what you really remember, like dark circles around her eyes, that sort of thing. Very, very tired. And of course, there was the screaming, so there was that. It was a very southern-sounding scream, from what you could tell. Had a bit of an accent on it.
Screams in Southern.
Screams in Southern, exactly. So, yeah, I mean that's about it. So she had dark hair. She was very young. Now, Luca, luckily, is kind of good at this sort of thing. So you've been given enough of a description that you can at least try to figure out what maybe it was, if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was about to ask. I was gonna say, now that I have like a description of not only the creature but like the person, is there any way like I can either check to see if anything has come back from spooky information wise, of anybody like going missing or anything like that, any recent jobs that could tie into that sort of thing?
Gotcha.
Or if I could just roll to see, like, if there was something I could roll to see if I could put the pieces together.
Yeah, so you definitely want to roll to investigate a mystery. I think the big thing about Luca being the expert is she is a font of knowledge, and what she doesn't know, she knows she has a book about.
Yes. I've read all about that sort of thing. Okay, so you roll. Go ahead and roll.
Yep. This will be to investigate a mystery. So you're going
So
to
it's
be
10 total with my 2 sharp.
Yes. So 10. So it's 12 total or 10 total?
No, 10 total.
Okay, 10 with. All right, cool. So you get to hold 2.
Okay.
And you can ask, of course, use those to ask a couple of questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can it? So I think some of these are going to be very situational, but what sort of creature is it would probably be the first question, I would imagine.
Okay, yeah. So what sort of creature is it? Don't I have this list?
It should be on your cheat sheet.
Is it?
Should be. Okay, so based on
yes, you're right. Here it is. Okay.
Based on the description that you've been given, you flip through a few books. You've got a monster manual there. It's Malachi's Monster Manual, and you're able to find this particular demon fitting this description anyway. It's known as an obelisk, and it very specifically eats dreams. It's what it does. It causes nightmares and feeds off of that negative energy and uses it to sustain its physical form in our world. They are extremely dangerous because they hide. It's very hard to find them. The other thing about them is if they are not stopped, eventually their victim gets drained of all of their psychic energy, for lack of a better description, and they turn into, also for lack of a better description, basically zombies. And they tend to go out and do the same thing to those around them, and they start eating nightmares themselves until eventually they also become an obelisk. So definitely not a fun creature.
Okay, so I find this information, I read through all of it, and then I take the book over and I slap it down on top of my other book and turn it around so that Joe can see it, and I point at it.
It's an ugly looking creature.
That's all you have to say about it? That it's ugly? I sigh and I roll my eyes and I turn around and I ring the bells on the wall.
Yes, so you reach back behind you and you ring what appears to be butler bells, and you hear, Joe, from upstairs, kind of muted, but a very distinct ringing of these bells on the other end. And that's where we get our other fun members to show up. So, when the bell rings, what are you guys up to, Brosidon and Tamaki?
I'm making a sandwich.
Make it always with the
Oh
sandwiches.
God, not with the sandwich again.
Okay.
Hungry.
So Tamaki is upstairs in the little dining area that they have with, a small stove, maybe a hot plate, whatever, dishwasher. Very much a regular sort of apartment, making a sandwich. What kind of sandwich is Tamaki making today?
I don't know, but I'm making this face. Probably something simple. Like just cheese and bread and shit.
Just cheese and bread and shit?
Okay. Well, it's probably gonna have. Okay, what do I want right now? I want spinach turkey sandwich with provolone that's been cooked in a toaster oven and then add mayonnaise. I'm really hungry. That's what it is.
Gotcha. That actually sounds like a really good sandwich.
I know.
Now I want a sandwich. Shit. Okay, so Tamaki is upstairs making this absolutely amazingly delicious sounding sandwich. The bell rings, and then what does Tamaki do?
I guess I'm gonna put the sandwich in her mouth, run down the stairs, and give her this face when I come downstairs.
Every time. Gotcha. So you just come down the stairs and you're just like munching this sandwich like what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And how about Brosidon?
Well, I'm always with my dear friend Tamaki, so I am much slower moving, obviously, than this hyperactive J-pop teenager. So once she's already down there, you just hear my big thunderous ass stomping down the stairs, just. And I come up and I'm just, as always, right behind my buddy Tamaki, just going.
So Tamaki comes down and is like, "What's up?" And you come down and you're like, "What's up?"
You rang.
Okay, so we have a potential situation of sorts, and I point to the book again, and I move out of the way so that there's room for Tamaki and Brosidon to come over and look at the book.
Okay.
So I'm assuming, Tamaki's just, peeking over at it, and I'm obviously leaning over this tiny person, just like.
Don't get food on my book.
What?
I'm just over here like looking at this strange bunch of people.
He's like, "What the hell is this?" Like, you've seen some shit, but you haven't seen some shit, right? Like, I imagine it's like, I mean, I've seen some weird stuff happen. I've seen books fly across the room, but what the fuck is this? Seems fairly appropriate.
Okay.
So what's going on with this creature here, Luca?
So this guy, I point at Joe, says that he's been having visions or dreams if you would rather, about said said creature. And this is the closest thing that I can find to the description that he has given me. And knowing that typically these sort of visions are more localized, we could potentially have a really big situation on our hands if we don't figure out for sure what's happening, and get this taken care of before we end up with more of this type of situation, if you understand what I mean.
Before this shit hits the fan.
I'm just gonna nod my head yes, but you can read my face. It's clearly like no idea, but yeah, okay, sure.
Me no think well. Me hit stuff hard.
Yes, I have a 0 sharp. All right, I'm just kind of here for punch and pie.
Okay,
And
so
we're all out of pie.
again, it's definitely a situation you'd want to get
Who's
taken care of.
falling?
I know, right? That sounds terrible. Is everybody okay?
I've
I'm
fallen.
good.
I can't get up.
I need my life alert. Okay, so did you want to use? So you're still holding one from your investigative mystery. Did you want to ask any of the other questions?
I don't know, because really what we need to be able to do is figure out if we can even get like a centralized location of where to even start looking for this thing, and I don't know if any of these questions would really
You're right.
give us that information.
They really wouldn't. You are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
But that's where
So
magic
I think,
comes in handy. Again,
right, so I think for now I'm going to hold my hold until we get more information of what's happening and where to start looking.
okay, cool. So yeah, I think at this, honestly, just to kind of help out a little bit, using magic is probably gonna be the right thing to do to figure out where is this thing.
So
I can't do
under magic effects, it says do one thing that is beyond human limitations. Does
Mhm.
that mean as a half demon, I can try to do some kind of like and focus an area?
Yeah, so that would actually, I think, fall under observe another place or time.
Right,
Because
you'd
you're
be trying to observe the location of the creature.
right,
Alright.
exactly. You're trying to feel that out and find what's going on there. So.
Okay. So, who has a good weird?
I have a good weird.
I
Is
got a
it
-1.
Same.
what's yours, Brosidon?
3.
3? Okay. So do you
Oh,
want
yeah.
to take a look, Brosidon, and see if you can maybe
He's the
find a
weirdest one of all.
location where to start even looking for this thing?
I will absolutely roll that. Got a 9.
At a 9, nice. Okay, so under 9, it works again. It's going to work imperfectly. Now, is that before or after your modifier?
With my modifier.
It's with your modifier. Wow, you guys suck.
Really?
Okay, so it's going to work
last time we got all
imperfectly.
dope rolls.
I know, right? It's going to work imperfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and find the glitch here for you. So you reach out with your mind, and you're casting the spell to try to find the what the hell is it called? This obelisk demon, and you find it. The problem is you weren't extremely careful. It's during the daytime. It's generally asleep now. You get a vision in your head of a very dark space, but you can clearly see that the obelisk is there. It appears to be motionless, like maybe it's sleeping or resting in some way. And then you see it wake up as it kind of feels at the back of its, because when you're reaching out like this, basically you're trying to see through the eyes of whatever the thing is you're trying to find, right?
Mhm.
And when you do that, it can kind of feel that it's not alone. It feels you there, kind of like when you feel like somebody's watching you, sort of thing. That's the feeling that it gets, and it knows that it's being sought out. It knows that you're looking for it now. But you very distinctly are able to kind of follow this psychic link and see where it is, but you can't really do much if you want to keep this link established, right? so you know where it is. It's like a compass. You can feel what direction it's in, but that's about it. So it also knows that you're looking for it now. It's about midday, so.
Okay. So I would assume, even with it knowing that we're looking for it, it probably wouldn't stray super far away from its victim just because it's already done so much damage anyway from the description of the girl in the vision. But I guess I could be wrong.
I mean, it's still midday. It's probably not moving.
Okay, so we need to locate it before it gets dark.
Mm-hmm.
So it's time to roll up in the spooky mobile, and you're going
Yeah.
to. I just picture Brosidon like sitting on the front of the car, like pointing, like he's just sitting on the hood, pointing which way to go, like a compass. So, all right. So now here's where. So I imagine Joe's going to decide to go with them. I'm assuming. I'm making
sorry,
a lot
say
of
that again.
assumptions here.
No, what did you say you cut out?
So yeah, as far as the description of Brosidon sitting on the hood of the car, pointing and acting like a compass, which I think is hilarious. Hopefully won't get you a ticket. So what do you guys want to do now? You want to head out? I imagine Joe's going to go with you guys.
So I want to at least find out who Joe is first, because I'm not entirely sure as a character how I feel about him coming along. Even though he could potentially be helpful, he's not part of
He's not one of you
like
guys.
the organization. Yeah, so I feel very uncomfortable with Joe tagging along at this point.
Okay, so for me, honestly, I fess up to him and just saying that, like, this is something that, you know, it's been something that's happened in my life a lot where I've seen this kind of thing happen, and I'm just tired of, like, it occurring, so I want to be able to, like, put a stop to it. And I feel like I would be an asset to be able to help out, especially with if you all can't hear the background noise here.
Oh no, we can.
Funny. I think I'll be an asset. I don't.
Well,
So I want to make a quick contact with the organization before agreeing to let Joe come with us.
Okay, how are you going to do
Just
that?
because I'm very like by the books type of person. While on my computer, I'm assuming since they're able to direct link me things, I have some sort of contact with them, even if
Right.
it's just through like communication, some like communicator.
They're very bad at responding to emails, so you may want to give a phone call.
May want to what?
Give a
Does
phone
this
call.
work?
Okay, I guess I can just call them then.
Right.
And
So
explain to them what's going on and be like, hey,
So
this
you-
is the guy that comes in, so on and so forth.
So you pick up the phone and you dial the phone number to the spooky home office, and it rings 3 or 4 times, which it never goes to voicemail, but it definitely takes a while. And then finally you pick up and hear, "Spooky headquarters, how can I help you?"
I immediately regret my decision to call. I just want to get the approval to add someone to a case that we're working on.
And who are you, honey?
Luca.
Oh, yeah, out of the Louisville office. Yeah. Good job on that last one. We turned out really well. Nobody got hurt. So what do you need? You need to know about somebody and just give them access? What are we doing?
I just want to make sure that they have access so that I can make sure that everything is documented appropriately if they do come along with us.
Yeah, it's always good to cross your T's, dot your I's, that sort of thing.
It is indeed.
Yeah, so plus it absolves us of any liability, which is always good. Organization this
Most
large,
importantly.
what we do, and lots of lawsuits. You know, it's very bad. Okay, who are we adding to the roster here?
Joe Winchester.
Okay, give me one moment. You gotta hear like tapping on some keys in the background, and this. No, not that guy. And then there's more typing, and it's general office sort of sounds in the background with a little bit of silence. You're like, let me put you on hold.
Okay.
And it's a silent hold, though. There's no hold music, which is the worst kind of hold ever. So just kind of sit there waiting.
While this is being done, I want it to be known that I am kind of walking behind Joe, like side to side, just kind of sizing him, probably
So
making him feel a little bit uncomfortable because I am a mammoth a mammoth being.
it's one of those, yeah, I can take him.
Yeah, it's just like steps out.
Yeah, yeah. So while this is Joe's just like standing there waiting, you're kind of pacing around behind him. Tamaki's eating this delicious sandwich, and Luca's just sitting on the hold.
I want to lean over like behind Joe.
Is it
kinda
like
lean
really
over
good
behind-
hold music? And can I hear it?
No, it's
There's
a
no
silent
hold
hold.
music. It's just a silent hold.
One of
Damn
those.
it.
Yeah, where if it goes on too long, you kind of go, hello, because you think maybe it hung up. It's that kind
I
of
want to
hold.
lean down behind Joe and just kind of just just lean over and be.
What?
What?
He's threatening Joe.
It was a gentle whisper upon his ear.
I kind of wave my hand at Broside.
That tickled my ear.
Did it tickle your fancy though?
Oh no. Is that where we're going so soon? You barely know this guy.
He probably
I mean-
immediately regretted his decision to want to come with us.
Stranger danger, you know.
Alright, so you hear a click on the other end of the phone. It's alright, he's approved, but he's gonna have to hang out with you guys. We've been keeping an eye on him. I can't really get into it right now, but make him stick around when you're done, okay, honey?
Absolutely. Thank
Alright,
you.
and give us a call if you need anything else. Bye, Luca, honey.
Bye-bye,
And it just clicks. And that's Doris, by the way.
Doris.
That's Doris, yeah. She's the she's been at her job for a very long time.
Is she from
It's
Monsters
smoking
Inc?
for a very long time.
All right, Joe, you're coming with us.
Awesome.
All right. So
What can I do? What can I help you out with?
nothing currently. Just follow along, and we'll let you know if we need anything out of you. On
Sounds
that
good to me.
note, Brosidon, lead the way.
Let's go.
Alright, so he's just kind of pointing the direction you need to go the whole time, acting like a compass. You guys pile into the car and you drive around for a little while. You find yourself on some of the more gentrified parts of Louisville, heading out towards the East Endish area, where the houses get a little bit bigger and the neighborhoods get a lot whiter. You get what I'm saying. So,
No, you said wider.
yes, I did say whiter. So yeah, so it's definitely the more gentrified areas with larger homes and things of that nature. And as you're driving down the street, of course, you're getting odd looks, especially in one of these neighborhoods, because you have the very large being sitting on the hood of your car pointing the way as you guys drive around. And you stop in front of a house. It's quite a large house, 2-story. Looks, by any assessment, it probably has 3 to 4 bedrooms, most likely a basement. It's got an attached garage on the side of it. It's one of those very boxy sort of homes, not too interesting and cool. A McMansion, basically.
So is this where we need to be?
This is what I'm feeling.
Close as we're getting, at least.
Yep.
How are you feeling, Joe? Anything useful?
I can tell we're getting close. I just don't know, like, if this is the most specific place.
Are you sure he knows anything?
He's supposed to be some sort of psychic, apparently. We'll see what
God,
happens.
Not those.
I know.
If you guys want,
Okay.
I'll knock on the door. And anybody's home.
Fucking psychic.
Let's not
No.
do that.
Okay, wait. He's not going.
Mr. Keeper, Mr. Keeper. Do
Yes.
I do anything? Do I have any psychic sense here at this location?
You definitely feel like this is most likely the right place.
Just call him Mr. Keeper. He has a name.
Yeah, Mr. Keeper.
Yeah, they call me Mr. Keeper. But only
Or
if you're
Dolores.
but they call me Miss Keeper if you're nasty. But yeah, you definitely feel like this is most likely the right place.
Okay, so we at least know, for the most part, where we need to be. So, let's see.
Hmm.
I'm looking the other questions we have, since now we have a general idea. Okay, so is there any way we can try to see if it's still here? Because we were worried about it running away. What time is it? Like, how long have we been driving around?
It's only been like an hour or two. It's at most mid-afternoon, possibly early late afternoon. I know that sounds like really weird, but not quite sundown. You've probably still got an hour or so before the sun starts really setting.
Okay, so we still have some time then, probably, before we can really do much, because it's not like we can just break into their house and look for a demon.
I mean, you could always pretend to be there for
Or
some other reason.
can we?
Mm.
Alright,
So,
anybody have any ideas?
Not breaking in.
How about like trying to read the situation?
you want to read the situation? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe because I see like one of the things on there would be like figuring out what's the best way in, I guess, or seeing like
Somebody's reading their cheat
kind of
sheet.
vulnerabilities and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, you can do that. Go ahead and roll your 2d6, add your sharp modifier.
Oh, I'm so proud of Joe.
I know he's doing good.
Okay, so I rolled 8, and my modifier is +1.
Gotcha. Awesome. So you can hold 1 on that. That can be spent to ask one of those questions, which you have in front of you, very specifically for everybody else. These questions are: what is my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? And what's the best way to protect the victims? So some of these are very situational. A lot of times this is actually used just after or just before combat, really, when you hit that real crescendo of what the fuck just happened kind of stuff. But you can use it just about any time. I mean, it's clearly a bad situation. There's some shit going down here. So I'm definitely going to be like, yeah, you can do that.
Alright, Joe, what's it gonna be?
Well, let me ask you all. What do you think I should wait to use it until a later situation?
Well, we have to figure out how to get entrance into the location. Because
Do
we
we
have
have
to
any
confirm.
cookies? I totally look like a Girl Scout.
Okay, well then I would say let's try using it for what's the best way in.
Okay, so just a quick look around the street. It's getting to be later on in the afternoon, but it's still early enough. The street's not very busy. Like there's some people out here and there. It's mostly old people who are probably retired. They look like they're about that age. Maybe walking their little tiny ass annoying dogs. Not a whole lot of traffic going on this street though. It's no cop cars around. It feels like it's probably a fairly safe area. While you may be being scrutinized by people who do see you, there's not a lot of people out that you can tell that do, in fact, see you. So you can go around back and look around if you'd like. When you do that, you find that there is a garage door. So it's one of those that's attached at the side. So the front of the house is like a big square. And then on the left, if you're looking from the street, you see the garage. The drive goes up into the back behind the house if you go up there. And when you get back there, you do see that there's a garage door. There's like a porch area, a covered porch area, and there's some glass doors that also go into the house. They kind of let into a smaller, almost like a solarium, but like a cheap, we added this onto the house kind of thing. Maybe it used to be a porch and they knocked out a wall and put some glass up, that sort of thing. Nothing super fancy. Some nice furniture in there and stuff. From what you can tell with your experience and things, your best way in is probably going to be trying one of these doors to see if it's unlocked. You could maybe try to get through the garage door. Yeah, that's pretty much going to be your best way into this house is normal type burglar stuff.
Hmm. Okay. Well, obviously, no point in trying to enter during the day because it's probably not really going to be beneficial. Does everyone agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, assuming there's still a
Well,
link between Brosidon and the Obelisk. Uh,
Mhm.
Brosidon, you know it's here. It's dormant, but it's definitely here.
Okay, so do we want to try to initiate while it's in more of a rest mode then?
I think that'd be our best
Are
option.
there any cars outside?
same. Because one of the things like I was from the premonition that I had. This is actually a question too. Did I happen to notice like maybe a time frame or kind of get an idea of time
It
this
was
event happened?
it was dark.
So it was just dark. So
Yeah, it was
we
dark.
definitely want. I'm basically going to suggest that we go in as soon as possible to try to take care of this.
Okay, as you guys are standing around back and debating this, what you didn't notice was out in front there is a cop car rolling up, and it kind of stops by the truck, and they're just kind of looking at it a little bit. They're still in the car, and they pull up around the back just to kind of check things out because it is a little abnormal. So you see a cop car come up the driveway from around in behind the garage. Cop kind of stops, and you hear the whoop whoop from the alarm or the siren, and he gets out and he's just like, "Hey, what are you guys doing here? You don't look like you belong here.
Do I have a phone?
Do you have a phone?" It's reasonable to assume you would.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up to him like and make a really sad face. I'm gonna be like, I lost my puppy.
You lost your
And
what?
show a picture of
Puppy.
my
Your
puppy.
puppy. You lost your puppy. Okay,
Yes,
so
we're looking for Tamaki's puppy.
okay, so the cop just kind of looks at the phone. You've got like a picture of a puppy on the phone, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And he just kind of looks you up and down, considering what he's seeing is a Japanese boy dressed like some kind of goth pirate.
You can't tell I'm a boy right now. I have really great wigs.
I mean, so that just leads to the confusion. Really, it's just like lost pup that you lost your puppy.
Yeah.
You have a puppy.
Yeah. Do you not?
Okay.
Everyone should have a puppy.
Well,
It's a company pet.
where did you? I mean, where do you live around here so we can kind of get an idea how far it may have gotten? I'm more than happy to help with your puppy, but assuming you guys don't live here, do you?
No, but it runs really fast.
Okay,
And
so
I saw it go into this neighborhood.
okay, so what do you want to get this cop to do?
I'm probably gonna try to get him to go look for the puppy, but away from us. I can use
Okay,
manipulate someone.
bingo. Love the way you think. So go ahead.
Look, I use my cheat sheet too. Do I get a cookie?
I will try to bring cookies. I will try to bring cookies on Monday or Tuesday. So yeah.
You know
Well,
how
no, Joe,
cute
you'll
he
be
is?
there on Monday, right?
Yeah, I'm there on
Yeah,
Monday.
because your schedule just
From
changed. So yeah,
10 to 6:30.
I will bring cookies on Monday for everybody because you're all very good noodles.
Yay!
Okay.
Yay.
All right. So you want to manipulate somebody? Go ahead and roll your d6s and add your charm, which I actually don't even have written down, which is weird. Which would be +2.
+2. Okay, I got a 10.
Okay, you got a 10. So they'll do it for you for the reason you give them. If you ask too much, they'll tell you the minimum it would take for them to do it. So that's what you get there when you're asking a normal person. So what do you say to this cop?
Um, guess I'm gonna ask for his help and tell him that we saw it run in here, but it's a big neighborhood, so we can take this alley if he takes 2 alleys over.
Gotcha. So you're like, all right, we know it's around in here, but we've already done some searching, sort of thing. But we'll keep looking around here. If you go look over there, and then maybe we'll meet up later and find it. That sort of thing. Okay. So the cop just kind of he gives you a little bit of an eye still. He's just like, okay. He says, okay, fair enough, but I better not have to come back here at some point. If I find out you're lying to me, you're all going to be in very big trouble.
Of course.
Yeah. And he kind of looks at Broseiden, who generally carries a sword with him at all times, which I'm assuming is
giant
still
sword.
there. Yeah, and he's like, he looks at Broseiden with the giant sword. He looks at Tamaki with the goth pirate outfit thing going on. He's like, so, you guys LARPers or something?
Cosplay.
Cosplay. He's like, oh yeah, I cosplay sometimes. What are you going as? What are you dressed as?
Me personally, I'm just the chauffeur.
Oh, gotcha.
Kind of the mom of the group. I just drop everyone off.
Oh, gotcha. You look pretty young to be their mom.
Not actually mom. I'm just the person that takes them to the cosplays and drop them off. I don't participate in the situation.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, my favorite thing is Sailor Moon. I love Sailor Moon. And I actually there was a convention a while back. I won the costume contest with my Sailor Moon costume, in fact. But don't tell anybody. The guys on the force would never let me live it down.
It's our secret.
Sounds good. Well, I'm going to go look for that puppy. You guys be safe around here. And, yeah, well,
His name's Oliver.
Oliver. Okay, so I'll definitely keep an eye out for Oliver, and you guys be safe. And I'll come back and look for you guys if I find Oliver. I'll let you know. Do you have a phone number or anything I should call?
Yeah, you can actually call my number, and I give him my cell phone number.
Like your actual cell phone number?
No.
So it's a fake one.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. He's like, all right, cool. So he writes it down and he goes, all right, I'll let you know if I see anything. And if you guys find anything out, just give a call to the local police station. Let them know that Officer Noah Smith was helping you out, and they'll let me know if you guys find Oliver.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right, y'all take it easy, and we'll see you around. And he gets back in his car and backs down. You see, he still does the whoop whoop thing when he's backing out because he's kind of that guy. But he backs out of the driveway and goes away. Good job on the roll. You know what? I just realized, Joe, you need to mark off an experience because you failed that roll earlier.
I do what now?
So on your sheet, you'll have an experience box. When you fail a roll, you actually get to mark off an experience box.
Mark off an experience box.
Right.
Okay.
So that'll put you one step closer to leveling up.
Just anytime I fail a roll, though.
Right. Anytime you fail a roll, very specifically if you roll 6 or less.
Okay.
So yeah, I just remembered that. My bad. Okay, so I'm still trying to stay on top of this stuff. Okay, so the cop is now left, and you're here at what appears to be an empty house. You're in the back. Well, how do you wish to proceed?
All right. So are we going in or are we waiting? Your all's call.
I'll rip
Was
this
there any,
garage
like,
door
cars
off
out front or
the handle.
anything?
As far as you can tell, there's nobody around. You don't see cars around. It doesn't appear to be anybody moving around inside that you've seen so far.
I feel like we're super unprepared, but I don't really know what else to do at this point because we don't have a lot of time. So
I will big boot this door down if you want me to.
let's not do any damage if we can. All right, I guess we need to try one of the back doors and see if we can get it open or unlocked.
Okay, so you're going to try one of the back doors or the garage door or...
Is there one I don't know, like, was there one in particular that I favored using? Or, like, could tell would probably be the best way?
Not really. I mean, you walk up. It does. There's not like an open window or anything, so it's not like, hey, let's go through the open window. There's no way to really tell which way would be the best option.
I mean, if you want,
Gotcha.
I'll throw Winnie here through the window upstairs.
Let's not do any damage.
Let's try going
Fine.
through like one of the back doors then. Just like the one on the porch.
Okay, so you walk up to the porch door and you grab the handle and you go to turn it, and it just opens. It opens right up.
Fucking white people.
I usually
Magic.
leave my door open, but I'm not here.
Yeah, it's that kind of neighborhood.
Okay, so I guess we can go in, but we want to do a quick survey.
Okay, so as you walk in, again, this is like some kind of a sitting area, almost like a solarium type situation. There's a skylight window up on the roof. There's a fan in here. It looks like almost outdoor porch sort of furniture. It just happens to be indoors. Several plants about, things of that nature. When you walk in, if you face straight, you'll see straight in front of you is a dining room area. Off to the left is another room that's carpeted. Through the doorway, you can kind of see a fireplace in there. To the right of the immediate area is going to be a kitchen with an island and like the double stove thing, like a really pretentious fucking house. Like, it's super pretentious.
Well, we already know it's in a bedroom, so
Probably upstairs.
start looking around.
Okay. So as you go through the house, and again, it's a very pretentious sort of house. Downstairs, you find up to the left, that area to the left was like a TV room, family room type situation. There's a couch, a TV in there, the fireplace. Clearly the main place where people hang out. To the front of that, towards the front of the house, there's another room that's just empty except for a big grand piano that looks like it's dusty. Like, nobody's touched the damn thing. It's just kind of there. When you walk into that room, you take a right to the foyer area. Off to the side of the foyer is another dining room, but this is like an actual dining room. There's a chandelier and shit. Super pretentious crap. There's a small hallway that leads back to the first dining area, and there's a doorway there that you could open and enter. And there's stairs that do go up to the second floor.
I vote stairs.
Up the stairs we go.
Okay.
Same.
Gotcha. So you go up the stairs. As you start walking up the stairs, you start to hear music coming from one of the rooms. All of the doors are closed right now, except for one. Then you can see in and go, oh, that's a bathroom. But all the other doors are closed. Behind one of them, you do hear some music playing.
What kind of music?
Oh, what kind of music? It's bubblegum radio pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, really bad music, but...
Don't you stick out your tongue and be like, ew, gross, I'm gonna vomit? That's the face I'm making.
But
I just want to kind of nod my head with the beat, like,
Process.
This is something you would approve of, but the K-pop's too much for you.
This is finally something I can. Okay, all right.
Oh god.
His
Okay.
and I'm
dirty
just looking at
secret.
this guy like he's faceless.
So I guess we should very quietly attempt to check some of the other rooms.
Okay, so you want to check the other rooms there where the music is not coming from.
Well, it makes sense to start with the rooms that no music is coming from, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just making sure. Okay, so
Yes.
there's, other than this one, there are 3 other closed doors. So this one, when you come up the steps kind of wind around. They go up and then they take a left and they go up again, right? So you've got the little landing in the middle. Immediately at the top is where the music is coming from, behind that door. Next to that, there's another door that leads to a different room. Then you have where the other wall is, so you've got the corner there. and there's where you can see into the bathroom, and then there's another door next to that, and then on the other side, there's another door.
All right, let's start the furthest away and work our way back to where the music is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you
I'm
go
gonna
up.
hold this. Go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead, you're
I was
good.
gonna say, I'm gonna hold the stairs, top of the stairs, just to make sure nothing
Okay, so you're just gonna stand there at the top of the stairs.
soared out. Just kind of, patting it against my hand, like, all right, with the beat, obviously.
Okay,
Mm.
he's just kind of doing the whole Night at the Roxbury thing.
Yeah, just.
What is love, baby?
So,
don't hurt.
I want to have Joe be the one who peeks in the rooms because he's going to be the one that can recognize the room because he's the one that's actually seen the vision. We only have the verbal description of what he saw.
Gotcha. Okay, so Joe's gonna go first around, and you guys decided to check that first, the room all the way opposite of this, basically.
Yes.
Okay, so
Is he gonna go? So he's going in the room with the music?
no.
No, we're checking the other ones first.
That's lame.
So we're checking out the farthest one away from the music room, essentially.
Cool.
Currently, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I go up to it and I open the door slowly, like
Before he
kind
opens
of
the door, I'm
creaking
gonna
in.
pat his back and be like, "You got this," and then back up really far.
And then get
Yeah.
really far away just in case.
I turn around and give that weird grin and a thumbs up, like thanks for the support.
Yeah. Thanks, asshole. Yeah, I know I got it. It's all good. That sort of thing. Okay. All right. So you open the door, and when you open it, it's an office. It's definitely like an older adult's office. There's a big wooden desk, and a computer sitting on the desk, a bookshelf on the walls. It's pretty bare, other than those things. Very dry, very dull, but it's just an office.
Okay. Next room.
Okay. So that doesn't give me any kind of vibes or anything. So.
No, it doesn't look at all like what you saw in your premonition.
Yeah. So I motion to the next room for Joe, not wasting any time.
So, yep, same thing. Gonna go to this room and slowly peer in. Give another thumbs up to Tamaki there.
All right, so you open that door, and when you open it, this room is just empty except for a single couch.
Except for a single what?
Couch.
A couch in this.
Who just has a couch in a room?
Just a
That
couch.
sounds like a lot of work to put upstairs,
Okay,
that's what I was-
moving along. Next
He just-
door.
Anyway.
He's like, there's just a couch in there. Who does that? Like, closes door. Okay. So the next door you open is definitely a bedroom, but it feels like an adult's bedroom. There's a big, like, 4-poster bed in there. Hold on one moment. Phone ringing.
Hey, Luca, you gonna get that?
Nope.
Okay. Alright. Hold on. Yeah.
No.
Okay, so it's definitely an older adult bedroom. 4-post bed, very dry, not a lot of decoration, just
Find
bland.
the fuzzy cuffs in the corner.
Right, they've got like the frilly fucking bed thing that hangs over the edge,
The hem.
Is that what that's called?
I'm pretty sure it's called a bed hem, but maybe not.
We got one of those in a thing that we bought, and I didn't know what it was. I had to Google.
We're so classy and fancy here.
I know.
So, so that definitely does not look like what you saw before.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
next room.
And this is the music room that we're getting ready into, so.
Right?
Alright,
Right.
hold your breath.
Okay, so the music room. So as you go to reach for the handle, and it starts to open on its own, and not slowly. Like it just kind of swings open, and you see a girl there, and it's definitely the girl from your premonition. Looks super tired. She's got black hair, about shoulder length or so. She's just got a t-shirt and some like yoga pants on. No shoes, no socks. She's definitely been home hanging out all day, which is weird because it's a school day, but whatever. So
She wasn't feeling good.
she hasn't been sleeping well, for sure. But she's definitely the girl you saw. And when she looks up as she sees you, her eyes get really wide, and that whole time dilation thing happens where things start moving really slowly, and you can see her mouth opening, so she's going to scream.
Okay, someone stop her. Nope. Okay.
I'm gonna kiss.
What? No.
She's
Then she can't scream.
she's no, she's gonna do the thing. She just walks up. She's like, "Oh my dear, how are you?" Yeah, she's just go for the total
Host club.
anime.
You're gonna host clubber.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. Can
Gonna
I
host
roll a
club.
charm for that?
Yeah, you would have to. There's no other way that's gonna work.
Okay, hang on. Let me. I'm looking at pictures of Tamaki. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'm definitely not manipulating or charming anyone because I have a -1. So someone do something.
I think I'm not charming at all.
I'm not.
I got 10
You got a 10. Is that before or after modifier?
before what? The charm? That's
Uh,
with the charm.
Okay, so you rolled for charm and or you rolled it and added your charm modifier and got a 10.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, because you, I think, are the most charming here. You have a 2.
I am.
Yep, you definitely are. Everybody else, you all are some dry fucks. That's all there is to it.
That's why we have Tamaki.
Exactly, for all of these moments. Okay, so as she's
mine's
beginning,
a 3, dude.
do what?
The deal with the devil. It's a 3.
Oh, okay, so it's at a 3. That's even better. Okay, that I didn't realize that. Okay, so let me adjust this. And so what are you going to do? Describe this motion for me. Tell me what you're going to say to this extremely terrified looking teenage girl you guys have just barged in on.
Okay, so you know how like when they come in, all the glitter's happening around them.
He's got the roses.
Yeah,
And...
all that. I'm gonna be like, sorry to barge in, but I had to give you this, and I give her a rose.
It just rose out of nowhere.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and
he
so
always has roses.
it's true. It's so true, just all the time. So her face just kind of changes. It goes from scared to confused, like really confused as to what's going on. And then you put the hand out the rose, and she takes it, and her eyes just kind of do that they're glossed over. She's very much like, oh, thank you, but who are you? Why are you guys here? What are you doing?
Hang on,
So-
I'm gonna give her a little bit of this.
Gotcha. So you reach out and gracefully take her chin with your hand and get really awkwardly close.
I'm still dressed as a female, but it's cool.
I mean, apparently it works for her, so.
I basically just face palm and think, how did I end up with these people of all people?
We'll save that
How
for
did this happen?
We'll save that for the flashback episode. Okay, so you're so you're definitely putting the moves here. What do you say next? 'Cause he's just like, why are you guys here? Who are you? I don't know you. I mean, thank you for the rose, but
Okay,
I don't.
so you remember like the night episode where they were dressed up as knights?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna like try to be all gallant and shit and be like, I think there's something in your closet, my dear.
How did you know about that?
Well, this weird-looking fellow had a vision, and we are here to save you.
So she looks over at Joe and she's like, I mean, I wouldn't say he's weird looking, but.
Yeah, but the beard, it's all wrong.
And what do you mean had a vision? What are you talking about? I don't understand. But there's definitely something here, and nobody believes me. And I tried to tell my parents, and they just don't want to listen.
I'm gonna put my finger on her mouth and be like, "We believe you, my dear."
Shh, you're pretty when you're quiet. She goes, well, I appreciate the help, but I just don't know what to do, and I'm so worried. I haven't seen my dog in forever, and I think it got her.
Got who?
Got my
ate your dog.
The thing. I think it got my
Oh,
dog.
no.
She's been
I thought
missing.
okay, out of character. I thought he said Dobby.
Dobby got my Dobby.
Where's my Dobby?
Yeah, no. Got the dog. So she explains, just this I started having really bad dreams about a month ago, and we just they started getting worse and worse and worse, and then my dog disappeared, but didn't really disappear. I think something really bad happened because we never let our dog out without one of us, so she couldn't have escaped like my parents said they did. Something happened, and all I found was her collar, and that was it. And we haven't seen her for a week, and I'm just really worried. And then there's the thing in my closet, and it's just getting really scared, and I haven't been sleeping lately, and I've been having nothing but nightmares, and it's just
Okay, put another
everything's really
finger
off.
over her mouth and be like. Hang on, I gotta stop laughing.
I was gonna say, obviously not laughing when you do it.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna stroke her hair and be like, so she calms down. That's not creepy.
Okay, so
The first thing I thought of.
where is
It's okay. In real life, when someone cries, I kind of just pat them on the head. I'm just like, okay.
yeah, I mean that's pretty much what happens there. Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and roll again to manipulate for the calm down, because as she goes on, she's just getting more and more agitated.
Okay, this time I got an 8.
Got an 8.
Is that bad?
Well, I just so on a 7 to 9 they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it. So, what are you saying? Just like she'll be okay, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, we're here to help. We're top, I don't know, investigators. We will help you find your, what's the dog's name? Did she say it?
She did not say the dog's name. The dog's name, though, if you look around, you can see that there are lots of pictures on the walls, and there's a picture of her, and she's actually like at a show. Like they're show dogs, and the dog is a poodle, like not a toy poodle, like a full-sized poodle, and you can see that there's a ribbon stuck onto that picture as well, and the name says Fluffernutter. Which is, you're assuming the dog's name.
Okay. Well,
because it'd be weird if it was her name. Just saying.
We'll figure out where Fluffernutter went.
Oh, okay. I mean, I believe you, but I just don't, because I don't know you. How do I know I can trust you? Because
Do we have like a badge or something?
nobody would recognize it.
It doesn't matter. It's still a badge.
Kiss the girl.
Don't kiss the girl.
I'm not gonna kiss the girl.
So basically, you're saying calm down, and she's saying I don't know why I should be calm right now. You have to basically show or why you can help.
Terrify her.
So while all this happens, I'm just gonna like go over to the closet and.
So you're just gonna kind of sneak past while they're caught in the glitter and the rosy filter.
Yes.
I mean, if this is not working, I could technically use my Notorious, but it's not very nice.
Hey guys,
it says you reveal who you are, and your terrifying reputation counts for a reason.
Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of like ask for Bro Sidon to put his sword away, but not come in the room, because that's not gonna make things better.
Right, so like non-verbal hand motion type stuff, like shh, just put it away and stay the fuck there. If you come in here,
out enough, we don't need a part demon hanging out too.
Right. So okay, so as you're sneaking past, I mean, you don't have a badge, so to speak, but you can always just try to kind of explain what's going on, who you are, what you do, if you'd like, while Luca goes past Tamaki.
I feel like we should have a badge. I want a badge.
Okay, so you want a badge? Okay, you know what? I mean, it's reasonable to assume you have some sort of identification to get into official spooky events and things, like the spooky Christmas party. They're not going to let you in without your company ID, right? And you know they have a Christmas party. Yeah, thing is lit as fuck. So you've got your spooky badge. I don't know where you would be keeping it right now.
In her hat.
Yeah. I take off my hat. I like that.
So she's like, "Whoa, calm down. Let me show you a magic trick."
Yeah.
Oh,
So while
man.
they're doing that, can I do like what's being concealed here? Would that be beneficial at any
Yeah.
time? Because like try to figure out. Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Like,
go to the closet and
okay.
you open it up, and initially you don't really see anything, but on further inspections, you can feel that this has got to be the right place. When you open the closet, you can see in. There's nothing, really not much in here. You do see a bunch of boxes that are kind of stacked up, and they say on them crunchy.com is on the outside of the box, and there's like a smiling animal on them and stuff. And there's a lot of these stacked up in here. You can see there are on the carpet in front of these boxes. There's marks there as though something had moved into here, right? So kind of like footprints, like if you vacuum a carpet, and then you step on it again, you can kind of see your footprints. You see marks like that, just smaller, about the size of a dog's. And they kind of,
Okay.
from what you can tell, they go to behind the boxes.
They go behind the boxes.
Right, like half of one, like the box is covering half of one of these paw marks or something.
Okay. So, can I? Hey Joe,
Yeah,
can I get you to move these boxes?
a sure thing.
Thanks. So we're just gonna arrange her closet a little differently for the
Gotcha.
moment.
So you go to move the boxes, and the boxes feel somewhat heavy. Like there's clearly a heavy one on the bottom, but there's like empty ones stacked up top, and there's about 4 or 5 of these boxes here. As you do move the box aside, something jumps out, like very swiftly, like goes by you. In fact, it knocks you over almost as
Okay.
it goes.
Dang.
Go ahead and let me see. No, actually, there's nothing that I can really do there. But yeah, as it comes out, you can see Luca, because you're standing in like the closet door. Like it's a big closet. It's a big walk-in closet, right?
Mhm.
As you would expect in these sorts of houses. So, and as it comes barreling towards you, everything just goes black, and words appear that say, "To be continued." Because we're going to have to go ahead and end the session here.
Oh.
We get a cliffhanger. Hooray,
Oh
cliffhangers.
no.
Yeah, I know,
Okay.
right? So, but, before that happens, we can, before it fades out, you can very clearly tell this is the obelisk. This is what you guys are looking for sure. It matches the picture in the book showed. So,
Okay.
we're going to go ahead and call it there. And we'll pick back up. Are we going to play next week or the week after? Are we going to go to every 2 weeks? I'm never sure.
Is next week Easter? I don't know. Easter.
Yeah, next week I believe is. In fact, I've got stuff to do on that day. So we'll say be back on the 28th. So 2 weeks from now for sure, we will be back to
That'll
play.
work.
Would you
Sound
want to
good?
do it like, is there a different day that would be better for everyone, or do you just want to wait 2 weeks?
I mean, we can figure that out as we go along. For now, we got to get this thing ended up. So, Wayland's War the Keeper, want to say thank you very much for hanging out with the Spooky Crew. That's what we're going to call it from now on, the Spooky Crew. And we will see you next time when we get to part 2 of our cliffhanger, the Nightmare Eaters. So, take it easy, guys. And there's that for
Seriously?
no good fucking reason. No good reason at all. All right, everybody say bye.
One per stream.
Bye.